Maybe a button on the front real close to you. There you go.
Okay, and you mind if I turn this down so yeah, so you can get a good
Now
view
we
of
have
me
to
and I
look
get a
at you,
good
too.
view of you? Yeah. My name, I'm sure most of you know, is John Smith. I live at 10244 67th Lane in the city of Grant. I have resided that residence since 1981, and that is some 30-plus years of residency here. I come here tonight to speak on behalf of my good friends, the Lanoux, Larry and Lauren Maureen, in their pursuit of a conditional use permit for Lanoux Stables. I would like to give a brief background of what has taken place over the last 2.5 years in this matter. And I think it's important, particularly for the audience, to understand some of this background so that you have a flavor for why this process took 2.5 years, or is taking 2.5 years. At the outset, this matter began during a city council meeting with an adversarial accusation with no forewarning, subsequent to Councilman Lanoux being sworn into office. The city's complaint policy and procedures were not followed. Had they been followed, the route to where we are today would have been a much different path. In the process in that meeting, then Councilman Huber held up.
I have to jump in here. You can't. This is just talking about what you think about the property.
I am talking about the background.
We don't want to hear about the past. I'm sorry. We want to talk about what you're saying about the conditional use permit and what you think about going forward. Not what happened 3, 5, 10, 20, I don't care how many years ago. I'm sorry. We got to stay on topic. Okay?
Excuse me, I would defer to the city attorney to give me direction as to the statute regarding public comment and hearings.
Your 3 minutes are up. Jack, would you please understand one thing? We want to give Larry Lanoux a CUP.
Pardon me?
We want to give.
Would you repeat that again? I didn't quite hear. Now, I'm 83 years old and I don't hear quite well. Would you repeat that for me?
But I will re-emphasize it.
Let me ask, are you in concert with the rest of the commission?
Certainly.
Are you in concert with the rest of the commission with that position?
Of course I am.
Oh, well, then we've reached a very, very favorable position here.
This isn't a fight between people. This is a looking at the facts, weighing them, making a recommendation to our city council, and they do the voting.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your support for the Lanoux conditional use permit.
And he runs a very beautiful operation out there. We are in favor of trying to get him a CUP.
Well, that's very fine. I'm going to skip over a few things here.
Thank you.
I would like to say about the property, and it has been noted here, that the buildings and ground are in unobstructed view to the public, and there is no operational secrecy that takes place on this property. Access to this property is open to the public. It is well maintained in all of its structural and landscape aspects. In the years and months since that time that this contest was initiated, it has been dragged through the courts through considerable cost both to the city and to the Lanoux. And I think it is noteworthy that in the last court hearing, which I attended, the city asked the court to financially penalize and imprison the Lanoux for non-compliance.
I think we're getting off topic here again. We're at the 3-minute
Yeah, we are
line.
at the 3 minute.
It's not relevant to our discussion, I would say that. but to our topic.
It's relative to your decision.
To your political position.
But the conditional use permit the court said to the city attorney and planner that the city's processing of the conditional use permit application were inconsistent and that the city failed to establish any contempt of court by the Lanoux. I think that's important because this is all the process that they have been going through to obtain their conditional use permit. And this is what.
Thank you for your comment.